All right, guys, typically on this channel, we're doing reviews on trucks and SUVs, but today we're actually gonna add something a little different. 2024 Buick Envision. We've already put about 1,000 miles in this vehicle. We're gonna put about another 200-300 on it today as a little road trip. I kind of want to see the comfort in one of these smaller SUVs. So let's get into this. I'm impressed by the powertrain of this thing. This 2-liter's got really great power. Transmission shifting, everything feels really smooth. It's got good power. It's got really good power. But I think more so than anything is the smoothness of the transmission feels great. I'm impressed with that. The one thing that's going to take some getting used to are these controls. The transmission controls being on a stock. I've already hit this like 2 times where I think it's like the windshield wiper, and boom, you throw the transmission in neutral. So that's kind of goofy. It's not my style, but I'm sure some other people really appreciate that location for the transmission. All the gauges, interior instrumentation, I like it. The heads-up display is really good. I like that quite a bit. I like the layout of this interior. I mean, it feels really nice. All the materials, the soft touch on the doors, steering wheel controls, it feels very much General Motors like, just kind of the buttons and layout, but it's very comfortable. You can tell they're adding some uniqueness to like making it more sporty. You just kind of got to get used to it. I think it's a really nice little vehicle that, even though it's small, you typically see small SUVs and small cars as low quality. I don't get this. This feels like a really nice vehicle. All the attention to details feels decent. I'm not seeing anything that looks really janky inside. It feels like a quality little vehicle. So it's actually not a bad looking vehicle. I really like what the Buick brand has done in the last few years. It's a little dirty right now. We got some rain, the roads are kind of nasty, car washes are closed unfortunately, but purpose of this video today is to kind of give you a 1,300 mile review of what do I think about the Buick Envision. Right off the bat, I actually like the looks of it. I think it's a decent looking SUV. It's kind of got a little bit of a premium feeling. It doesn't look as low cost as what you would see with some of the more entry level smaller-ish SUVs. This is the all-wheel drive version with the 2-liter Ecotec, which this motor is pretty spirited. I've been pretty impressed so far. Back end wise, it looks pretty decent. It is a 2-row SUV. This is not a 3-row SUV. It's got good size. We're gonna put a car seat in here in a minute. You can kind of see the interior, just kind of what it looks like, second row. I also like how it's got easy access to your tethers down below. Very nice. Let's check out the inside now on the front row. Nice trim, soft touch on the side, door panels. I like that you've got your settings for different drivers. I also like too, this is something GM does in a lot of their different vehicles. You've got your different heights for your rear deck lid. That's nice. This is a GM thing. They're big on using Bose speakers. Nice little entryway getting inside. Got 1,000 pounds of payload, which is not too bad for a small little vehicle like this. As we get in the inside, I just kind of want to give you a little bit of a glance over, show what the dash layout looks like. Seems like everybody's kind of going to these panoramic displays now. I don't mind it. It's very futuristic looking, but my mind always goes to, what is this going to look like in 5-10 years? I don't know. The heads-up display is really bright. It works pretty well. I like that. The one thing you notice right away are these transmission controls. This is something you kind of got to get used to. And I've gotten used to it pretty quickly, but it is something you do kind of got to, it's different than just your standard button. To put it back in park, you just press this button. There we go. Back in park. Display looks nice. Got your different controls, vehicle status. I think GM has done a pretty good job in this area. You've got your Google Maps. Let's see, no phones connected right at the moment. HVAC controls, pretty decent. You can turn on and off your HVAC controls, auto, climate. You got heated seats there. This is for your audio, for your radio, and you can turn off. So that's kind of nice. Look, little premium. Let's see what we got here for center console storage. Not bad. You can kind of gives it a little bit of a more premium finish. Let's see, we've got our glove box, just a standard size glove box, nothing crazy there. Decent storage in the side doors, soft touch dash. So this is actually hard touch here, but not bad. Goes across the top, got a big panoramic sunroof. I do like that. It's amazing how a sunroof can really change the look and feeling of a vehicle. Got self-dimming rear view mirror, blind spot indicators in the side mirrors. This has, I don't know if this has got auto windshield wipers. I do not think it does have auto windshield wipers. But generally speaking, this does not have a low-cost interior feel that you would feel sometimes with some of the other GM vehicles. Let's go over the window sticker real quick. So you can tell this is a 2024. This is the all-wheel drive, and this is the ebony twilight metallic color. 2-liter turbo with the 9-speed automatic. Really impressed with those so far. As far as options, it's got the comfort and convenient package, which gives you the dual zone auto climate control, auto air circ, heated front and rear seats, remote vehicle start, sensor for air quality, hands-free programmable power lift gate. I mean, it doesn't have a ton of options, but it's very nicely loaded. For grand total, $41,135. Let's check out the fuel economy. This is going to be interesting because we're going to drive a bunch today, and I'm really curious to see what we get. So mixed fuel economy 24, 22 city, 28 highway. It is, as far as an overall vehicle score, not rated at the time of this, but it does have a 4-star for rollover. This vehicle is actually, just so you're aware, this vehicle is manufactured in China. Country of origin, the engine's Mexico, transmission China. Let's check out the second row. But before we do that, I do want to show you kind of got like this nice little flow through from driver to passenger side. That's pretty nice. Nice storage. Got a little storage right here as far as behind the first row. Put your cups there. Let's see how it is for a 6-foot tall male. And I would be the same size person in the front row. Pretty good storage there, cup holder in the side. Good headroom. I don't have any issues with headroom here, so that's good. I got some HVAC controls here, USB A and C. Not too bad. I like that. Let's check out the cargo in the rear. Oh, it's nice. Got a standard spare in the rear. That's good. Got some storage underneath. Always like that. You could put some golf clubs in here, no problem. We're actually going to fill this area up pretty big with a few coolers today, so that'll be pretty interesting to see. And I like that it's got a 12-volt plug accessory because one of the coolers we're going to hook up will require that. I like how it's got some tie downs here for hooking up storage, kind of keeping it in place. Otherwise, pretty simple. Nothing too crazy there. I like how it's got, is that a real dual exhaust? No, that's funny. So this is actually a faux dual exhaust out the bottom. They actually hide the muffler underneath, but they're trying to make it look kind of sporty. This is the whole general theme right now of General Motors with Buick. They're trying to sport up this brand and make it look a lot cooler. And in all fairness, I think they've done a pretty good job. Let's look under the hood now. Good to see it's got hood struts. I know some of the GM vehicles, they've gotten rid of that. Here's your little Ecotec 2-liter turbo. Seems fairly quiet for a powertrain. A lot of room in the back, I like to see that. Bunch of heat shielding around the exhaust and turbo. Intake's in a decent location for servicing. Kind of see your belts down the side. Got your battery right here, fuse boxes. I'm trying to see what kind of braking system it's got. It's hard to tell if this has a traditional, it does have like an electric actuated braking system. So that's kind of nice, not a standard vacuum. Got your washer fluid right here. But overall, it looks pretty decent. Still got a felt liner underneath the hood to kill some engine noise. LED headlights, marker lights, looks nice. I think the tail lights are also LED. Yep, I believe that is. They look pretty sharp too. As far as the key on this thing, it looks pretty similar to a lot of the GM keys. Weirdly enough, I actually like the shape of these. They feel nice in the hands. Remote start. It's got the rear entry, so that's pretty decent. Color of this thing looks decent as well. We're going to reset our tripometer here. Let's look at some of these different gauges. I like it's got some of these nice features here. You can change some of the displays. Looks super cool. Got your adaptive cruise. And I think this actually even has lane keeping. I need to confirm, but I believe this does. Yes, it does. There we go. We do have the lane keeping system. So we'll have that on today too. Let's check out. So different drive modes. I like this. So you've got Tour, all-wheel drive, Sport. We're going to keep it in Tour today. No reason to put it in all-wheel drive quite yet. We can mess around with that later. This does have electric parking brake, so that's kind of nice. Got it set right now. We'll turn it off. You can turn off your start-stop, so that's kind of a nice feature. It's right here. You can dim your gauges, brighten them. There you go. Now let's reset our tripometer for our driving today. If you want to do your manual shifting, you just hit this M button, and it's kind of cool. It's got paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. Steering wheel shape feels nice, nice material, nice stitching. This is a really decent looking steering wheel, and it feels comfortable in the hands. So if you want to turn on or off your heads-up display, that's the button to do it. So that's kind of cool, and you can adjust the brightness. I like some of these different settings you can get into, like a teen driver mode. That's really cool, pretty smart. Notification apps, profiles, there's a lot of different things you can do here. Change your units. This is an Android operating system, and then you got your updates. There's your climate control, so you got above of the buttons down below, but it does give you the redundant features. That's nice. And you can turn on your heated seats right here. Very cool. No cooled seats on this model. There's your different controls and safety for traction control, auto high beam, different cameras. Seems like a decent operating system. I've noticed this in other GM vehicles. I've been playing around with this for like a minute or two to just try to figure out the trip information. How the heck do you reset the tripometer? Well, you actually have to go here and go to vehicle status, and then this kind of gives you your different trip information. You can kind of see over the 1,000 miles we put on this, we're at 22 miles per gallon, not too bad. For the average, we're about 26.7 with a best of 32.9. See, I actually think that's pretty good. We're gonna reset trip 1 also, and this will kind of let us know today how we do on this trip. So we're gonna get on the road now, and we will see how this thing does on our little journey today for comfort and just generally like how it does for fuel economy. And also, like, it does have wireless charging, USB AC, and a 12 volt. Very nice. Transmission, as I mentioned, the transmission is extremely smooth. I'm very impressed with this. I feel like these car manufacturers have done a really great job on making these small 4-cylinders really smooth. I remember back in the day, 20 plus years ago, the only decent 4-cylinder engine option out there was something made by Toyota or Honda. I mean, especially Honda, we were big fans of Hondas. Their powertrains were just reliable and really smooth. It feels like the domestics now have really done is just as good, if not better. Every time I get in one of these little 4-cylinders, I'm just amazed at how nice they feel. And this one is obviously no different. The thing that's nice now is the 4-cylinders are no longer slow like they were back in the day. Now with these little turbos on them, you get your fuel economy and you get your performance, which is super cool. Sorry, we had some audio issues, so we had to do a voiceover, but 70 miles an hour, you can see about 2,000 RPMs. You got to kind of get used to these high-tech, I'm going to call it gauge clusters. For me, I'm not a style of this, but there is some additional customization that you can kind of set up in here. But it cruises really smooth. Road noise, wind noise, I was impressed. Revs up, it's got great power. And then a thing that we notice with this, if you notice on the left is the speed limit, and then on the right is the speed we're going. We kept noticing that Apple CarPlay, the GPS speed kept twitching all over the place, and we were setting the cruise at like 60, 62, and it was jumping between 50 and 63. We also noticed the speed recognition never worked in this journey today, up on the heads-up display or on the dash. So that was kind of interesting. Now we got back on the highway in a different part, and we're kind of looking at RPMs. You can see we're about 2,400 RPMs here, 84 miles an hour. Fuel economy, man, incredible. I mean, we were literally cruising, guys, at a pretty good clip on the highway, and we are still getting close to 30 miles per gallon on the highway at these speeds. I think that's incredible, and that shows how efficient this little 2-liter Ecotec turbo is. So, I don't know. I was impressed by it. This powertrain is pretty solid. Been a long day. Going to fill this thing up. We had 3 people in the vehicle, 2 coolers filled up with about 150 pounds of meat. Check out this Iceco cooler. Got a review coming on this. This thing is awesome. Super impressed by that. But we got a bunch of meat going in here. Got the Iceco plugged in right now. I'll be curious to see what we got. Let's check out the tripometer here real quick. All right, so we went into tripometer. You can see we did 270.3 miles, and we averaged 27.7 miles per gallon. I think that's darn incredible considering we had 3 people in the vehicle, at least another 200 pounds of payload, and we were cruising at a pretty good clip. Considering the vehicle's rated at 28 miles per gallon in perfect conditions, we're in winter fuel with all of that, that's a solid number. Kind of wanted to show you guys this interior theme. You can change the ambient lighting, but it looks kind of cool. It's very subtle, but it looks pretty decent. And then you can kind of see, here's the exit when you get out of the vehicle. Just kind of showing, obviously, key left in the vehicle. But, I mean, that's a nice, like, interior theme. Let's see what the ambient lighting looks in the back. It does not carry it over into the front. and it just has standard lighting in the rear. So I want to wrap this one up at night also. We did just shy of 300 miles on the Envision on a road trip today. And here's some takeaways of this. $41,000 MSRP for, in my opinion, for a domestic, it's a fairly decent, I'm gonna call it above average premium interior for the money. It's 41 grand. But my real thing is it really $41,000? If you could get this thing for 30, 35 grand, I think this is kind of a bargain. When I'm doing a long road trip in one day like this, the things I'm looking for is comfort in the seating, comfort in the vehicle, power, performance, how does it ride down the road, especially in windy on the highway, 75 to 80 miles an hour, as well as what is the road and wind noise. And I can honestly tell you guys, that's where this thing hit a home run. So for me, I think looks-wise, I think this is a decent-looking SUV for the money. The 2-liter, I was impressed. Just shy of 28 miles per gallon. I think it looks decent. The interior comfort is good. Fuel economy is good. I'm impressed for the money. Interior comfort's decent. And the thing that is wild to me is this is the second Chinese manufactured car I've done a test review on this year. I've done the new Nautilus by Lincoln as well as the new Envision. The thing is super dirty right now. We are covering some ground today. I got to wash it in the morning. But what I can tell you is the fit and finish on these, impressive. I don't see anything on this thing looks janky. I've looked at all the doors. I've followed all the trim lines, the LEDs. Everything looks really premium. I do not get a low cost feel to this thing at all. And the price kind of reflects it. I do think this is, to me, I mean, you're in like the range of a Tesla Model Y if you're in that kind of money. But the seats are comfortable, good fuel economy, good technology, good safety. This is not bad. I would definitely recommend this for the money. It's fun seeing, gosh, look how dirty this thing is. It's fun seeing Buick bring a more, I'd say, younger age styling and cues to the market. They haven't really went after this market before. The back of it looks pretty sharp also. Some of the hits I'd say on it that I'm not a big fan of, but this seems to be a GM trend I've seen, is when you get in the inside, I'm not a fan of, like, if you want to turn the headlights off, I'm looking in here, I'm like, where's the headlight button? You actually have to come over here on the display. I think that's a little bit funny. The other thing I noticed was the speed and the Apple CarPlay. I didn't think was all that great. It was kind of like off. The GPS just didn't seem to make a lot of sense. Generally though, the ergonomics all felt pretty decent. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, feel free to like and subscribe. I'm also curious, leave some comments down below. What do you guys think of the new Buick Envision? Made in China, but it seems pretty decent for the money. Thanks for watching.